Howdy heckin' hello, and welcome back to the Insomnia Café.
Hello.
We both are a little bit stuffy-wuffy. We don't have the COVID, but we do have
the allergies.
Horrible seasonal allergies. And I may or may not have a sinus infection. That's really cute and sexy of me, isn't it?
It's really disrespectful that two earth signs are allergic to nature.
Literally, truly. We have these beautiful, beautiful pink trees near our house, and they give us the sniffles. And they're blooming, baby. They look gorgeous,
They're
but
so pretty.
Man, every time I walk by them, I'm sneezing my little ass off. But, yeah, we got a fun and exciting and funky little sode for you today. I'm sure you read the title. If you didn't, good for you, I guess. I don't know. If you didn't, we're gonna talk about Furbies today. Yeah. I freaking love Furbies. Julia,
I'm of the opposite.
Does not love Furbies. Maybe we'll put on the gram a picture of my Furby Asmodeus.
I wish I had a picture, because I had the little McDonald's ones.
I had
a
picture of
that. The little tiny hard plastic ones that you could chuck at someone.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think I ever threw it at anybody, but I could
you
now.
Thought about it. Yeah, you thought about it. That's all that matters.
I think of someone to throw it.
No, I'll see if we can get a picture of Asmodeus, my little Furby, which I bought over quarantine. We can talk about that later. My current Furby friend. Mm-hmm. But yeah, shall we just get right into it?
Yeah, we're drinking good old-fashioned hot chocolate today.
Yes. Well, okay, mine is not good or old-fashioned. I mean, it is good. Holy moly, it is delicious.
Yeah.
Mine is, I used coffee creamer, like French vanilla coffee creamer in lieu of milk, and a little bit of water because I can't just drink 8 ounces of warm coffee creamer because I'm not a monster.
No, she doesn't have the sweet tooth like me.
No, I don't. And I mixed it with a little bit of water and then the hot cocoa mix, and then I put candy hearts, like those little Valentine's hearts in there, because I thought they would float and be cute and aesthetic, but no, they sunk like rocks. And then when I drank a little bit down, I actually mixed some gingerbread coffee in with it, which was the move because it's a little too sweet for my taste. It tastes like liquefied marshmallows. But
the top of mine looks like liquefied marshmallows.
Yeah, Julia's looks caramelized.
It does.
It looks like delicious mud.
It does. It's about the consistency of mud. I put too much cocoa powder per milk. I like to put more chocolate than not. I don't know if I used almond milk or oat milk, to be honest. But I got these giant.
I think it was almond milk.
I think it was almond milk. Yeah. I think I'm out of oat.
Milk.
Oat and cashew.
Bro, oat milk
tend to be better for
coffee.
Sweet things.
Oh, I love oat milk.
Mm-hmm. And I got big ol' honkin' vegan marshmallows on top, which are near impossible to find. But, damn, they're good.
So, the lore of the beautiful little creatures known as Furbies. So Furbies were released in 1998 by Tiger Electronics and later bought out by Hasbro. We can thank David Hampton and Caleb Chung for the original design, and then they pitched it to Richard C. Levy to help them get it bought out by, or like distributed by Tiger Electronics. It was a must-have toy for the first 3 years of production, selling 1.8 million in its first year, and then 40 million in the first 3 years. So like by 2000 they'd sold 40 million of them, which is kind of, there's 40 million Furbies in the world, unless like some of them have been destroyed. But like, how do you destroy a Furby?
Oh my god, that's so scary.
And that's not even counting like the other ones, but like just from 1998 to 2000 they made 40 million Furbies, which they made more because I can't imagine they sold out all of them.
Imagine what the warehouse looked like when they were just sitting in,
like pre-fur. It's just like the electronic
bits.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So,
someone needs to make a Five Nights at Freddy's mod where all of the animatronics are Furbies.
I want to be in that. I want to play that game.
I think it would do very well.
Period. I think it would do well.
I was just thinking about it and I got freaked out.
So Furbies, when they first came out, were selling for about $35, but because they were so in demand, people would buy them and like scalp people for them.
Fuckers.
They would put like ads in the newspaper. The newspaper. They would put ads in the newspaper selling these Furbies for like $300. Like, whoa! And also, it's like 2000. Like, it's the year 2000 and you're paying $300 for a little robot.
Good news. We all survived Y2K and we're going to pay $300 for a little animatronic thing that's going to inevitably freak you out at night.
You're paying $300 for a little animatronic that goes, Nola.
Could you imagine being one of the kids that got the one that was $300?
Nola. Yeah, and your parents are like, we are not getting rid of that thing. I don't care what demon has possessed it. We are keeping it.
If you break it, we're selling you.
We're selling you in lieu of your Furby. The Furby's the new kid now.
Oh, God.
Because, whiff. So, the animal is actually supposed to, like, resemble a hamster mixed with an owl. Which, like, I can see the owl. It really just kind of looks like an owl with ears. But even the ears don't look like hamster ears.
I would say an owl and a guinea pig.
Yeah, owl and a guinea pig. I like that.
With Gizmo's ears.
Yes. I love Gizmo from Gremlins. My nickname when I'm drunk is the Gremlin, so I have a tie. Gremlins as a child freaked me out.
I have a real visceral fear of gremlins.
Like, no, they legitimately, like, scared me. Not the actual regular gremlins, but, like, the spider gremlin. That thing freaked... I had nightmares about that for years.
The cover with the little tiny cute furry dude, who
Gizmo.
I can say objectively is cute, yeah. That was the first time I ever had a panic attack when I saw him. I can viscerally remember my body getting very hot, and I was like, I'm gonna die. That thing's gonna kill me.
See, I love... What are they... Oh, man, it's like...
It was in, like, line at, like, Cecil's or something.
A Blockbuster.
Which doesn't exist anymore.
I'm trying to think, what are the... what are the freaking furry ones called? The pre-gremlin. No, they have, like, a cute little name. Mogwai!
Yes!
Mogwai.
I'm going to talk about them a bit later.
I think Mogwais are cute as fuck.
They scare me.
But anyway, we can get into opinions later. Back to the facts.
Yes.
So, the toys work by having several touch sensors and a light sensor to allow them to respond as if they were alive. There's no off button. They just enter sleep mode. And Furbies start out only speaking the language Furbish.
Which I did not know until we started researching this.
Which I knew.
I did not know that they had, like, a language and that it was programmed. I knew they had, I was, like, aware that they could mimic human speech, and that was about the extent of it, because the ones I had were only the McDonald's ones, and obviously they didn't have the tech in them.
Yeah, so they would just say some stuff if you,
I had something that was, like, definitely meant to be a play off of a Furby. They were called scooters.
Oh,
they were little animals kind of in the shape of a Furby with two front legs, but they, like, looked like other animals. Like, there was cows. Like, mine I think was supposed to look like a chipmunk.
Oh, cute.
And I remember that, and that was the only thing close to a Furby I had, but it was like it was just a stuffy. There was no, like, I think I still have it somewhere. I hope.
Dig that out.
Yeah.
But okay, so they're supposed to speak Furbish, but they're programmed to learn and grow with their owner and gradually replace their Furbish with English. However, contrary to popular belief, they do not actually learn these words. They are simply programmed to use more English and less Furbish as time goes on. And certain words and phrases can be used more often if the Furby owner pets the Furby when it is said. So, like, if you positively reinforce your Furby for saying, like, hello, it'll say hello more often.
Okay, I'm less freaked out now.
Yeah, okay.
The tech is not as advanced as I was worried that it was.
Yeah, no, it is not. I'll get to that later in, like, why people are scared of them. But, so, after the original Furbies dipped in popularity in 2000, there was a revival in 2005, and then again in 2012. And the latest, like, new Furby release, I think, was in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And the new I am not scared by, like, the Gen 1, Gen 2 Furbies, but, like, the new Furbies have LCD eyes, and
why?
Hate those. They do have like a Chewbacca furry. We watched a video of one. Furbacca.
I might talk about Furbacca too.
I kind of want to get a Furbacca just because I think it's kind of cute, but I don't like the noises it makes.
We just never put batteries in it.
That's true.
And that won't be a problem. And then if it talks,
but I also do want to get, like, a long Furby. And, like, maybe if I get a long Furby, I don't need a Furbacca. What if I got a Furby that was like
Furbacca?
Yeah, a long Furbacca. Like, it was to look like a Wookiee that was just, like, a Wookiee snake.
Ew.
Wookiee snake.
No. I just regressed into a toddler.
This is an episode about childhood trauma regression. So, psychologically, why the heck do people think these things are scary? Because, like, yes, I get it. But also I don't. But I do. You know? So I looked into why maybe people, like, psychologically might think they're scary. And what I found through doing some research is that majority of people genuinely just find the concept of a robot that is supposed to act alive to be unnerving.
That's what freaks me out.
Yeah, like, so it's not just Furbies. It's like any robot tech that's supposed to pretend to be a living organism. Yeah. That's like, because, so, you know, like, I think Taylor Riley got that, like, little spider robot. Like, it looks like a robot, but it kind of looks like a spider. Episode. Well, she got a robot, but a lot of people aren't freaked out by that because it's a robot, and it's like, I'm a robot.
Like those little tiny robots that, like, they have, like, the little push thing. They
yes,
look like
that's what it is.
I think those are cute.
I think it looks like a spider. It's not actually a spider, but that's what I call it.
I see what you. I see what
they look like the little jumping spiders.
Yeah. They do. They do look like jumping. Oh my god, jumping spiders are so fucking cute. Oh my god.
Literally, I'm an arachnophobe, but I think they're so
bad.
cute.
I just want to hold a little. Oh my gosh. Anyways,
Julia wants to hold a spider, guys.
I really love spiders.
I'm gonna come back from spring break and Julie's gonna have a tarantula named Einstein or something.
Dude, I really want a tarantula. Like, no joke. I legitimately want a tarantula.
And Iris is sweating.
What if I named my tarantula Furby?
I would have to like it for the sheer fact that I'm a stubborn little bitch. like I think some spiders are cute, but tarantulas just are too big. Like, if they were small, I don't think they would freak me out.
There's like a species of tarantula that's kind of like quote unquote mid-sized.
Okay, get a mid-sized tarantula and we can talk.
Tarantula.
That's one thing, though, coming back from our tangent, that freaks people out, is that they're a robot that, instead of just saying, like, we're a robot, it's like, no, it's alive, and it's your friend, and it loves you.
I will say, that's another thing, too, that freaks me out about, like, robotic kids' toys, because I was the type of person, I mean, I still get emotionally attached to things. I was the type of person that I would get very emotionally attached to my toys. So anything that like felt like somewhat alive, eventually I'd hit the point where I would be conscious of the fact that it's not alive, it's not gonna be alive, and it doesn't actually have a personality, and that makes me sad.
Oh, see, like, Toy Story messed me up, dude. I just, as a child, and even now, like, if I see something with a face, if it's any sort of toy with a face, a doll, a stuffed animal, a Furby, my brain is like, it's alive. When I walk out of the room, it has friends, like, and it has a good little time. So, for me, I think the distinction of, like, where I differ is that, like, I just viewed everything as alive, even if I knew it technically wasn't, which made me treat my toys really with a lot of care, because I was like, don't want to hurt this living creature. That's very true. I literally would, I know my dad is listening to this podcast. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom.
Hey!
But I literally would, like, cry like an insane child if any of my dolls would, like, break in any way, and have my dad, like, fix it, because I just felt so bad. I was like, no, it's hurt.
I used to be really worried that if I, like, because I liked to cut hair occasionally, and I was like, if I give her a bad haircut, she'll be worst.
Upset. Yeah. She'll be upset.
Like, no. Oh, sorry, I just had a visceral memory of this time. I had a limited edition Barbie mermaid that was, like, a big deal. It was really hard to get. And I remember we had this really wild computer desk that had, like, this pull-out compartment where you could make the desk longer. But I used to, like, hide underneath it all the time because I really liked small spaces that felt closed. I'm basically a cat, if we're being honest. I like small enclosed spaces where no one could bother me. So I would, like, go in there and hide, and I was playing with her one day in there, and I forgot about it, and then I went to close it, and I snapped her tail off. And I don't think I have emotionally recovered yet.
I wouldn't either. I understand.
And it was so beautiful. I felt that. And I wanted to be a mermaid anyways,
yes,
so I was like,
too, girl.
I am the worst person. I'm gonna go to hell.
Me too, girl. No, I feel that. Wow. I emotionally felt that on every level but physical. I am a mermaid Barbie doll. Okay, but coming back from that, more reasons why people might think they're terrifying. Also, psychologically, they do kind of fit into the uncanny category of design because they do have a face, and their eyes are pretty human looking. I think we watched a video by Billiam on robotic toys. He also brought this up in his video. They do have eyes that kind of resemble, like,
they're very detailed
humanoid eyes, like,
for the age of the toy.
And so a lot of people get freaked out by their eyes. And then another thing that's uncanny about them is their voice. People don't like their voice.
Yeah.
And obviously as a toy that's supposed to talk, kind of a big downer if if their voice freaks you out.
Yeah.
I don't think these are, like, psychological reasons. These are just other reasons why people are freaked out by them. But Being that there is no off button on them, and the sensors often malfunction, it can lead to the Furbies just, like, waking up or speaking at creepy or odd times. So, like, a lot of people have anecdotes of, like, being asleep at night, and their Furby just being like, wee la la kakuli. Sorry, I have Furbish phrases down here. That means, tell me a story. Or, wheelie kawali. Sing me a song. Just, like, in the middle of the night.
Oh my god, it's so creepy.
Or, like, especially the newer ones, because their eyes light up. Like, no thanks, man. No thank you.
You know what they should have made for the new ones? They should have made, like, sleeping masks that would cover the sensor.
That's smart.
So like, make sure you put your sleeping mask on your Furby so it's ready for bedtime.
Which,
and
like,
then it literally couldn't turn on because it'd be covered.
Which, like, Asmodeus, the one that I bought it from a thrift store.
Yeah.
And I made sure he worked before I bought him, because I wanted one that worked. He goes to sleep and stays asleep. Like, his sensors work really well.
He's a good boy.
He only wakes up... Yeah, he is a good boy. He only wakes up when you move him, pretty much. Which, like, some Furbies, they wake up with light. I think because he's Gen 1, his light sensor might be a little fucky-wucky. But also, yeah, he's chilling. I literally know where he is in my room back in my parents' house, and I'm gonna go visit him very soon.
I was also thinking about, like, the thing waking up at night. And I was like, a lot of kids sleep with night lights.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have, like, the little night
Motion
lights that
sensor.
like move.
Yeah.
Like, it has, like, a little thing playing on the wall. And I'm like, no wonder they were waking up at night all the time. Because, like, I know I had a night light. So I'm like, I feel like a lot of us did.
Yeah, the sensors definitely freak people out. Which I'll talk about an anecdote of maybe why I should be scared of Furbies, yet somehow I'm not, because I am just a little demon gremlin on the inside. But that's neither here nor there. Another thing, though, that freaks people out about Furbies, and I know that you have already said, like, oh, I didn't know that earlier in the cast, but the quote-unquote learning freaks a lot of people out because they thought this meant that Furbies were some sort of advanced AI. Spoiler, they are not. But that didn't stop the NSA from banning them on their properties.
Dude, yes, I literally have I have a little article of fun facts that I'll go over in a bit, but it was banned at a spy base.
Yeah, they were banned. NSA in January of 1999 banned them as they felt they could record classified info and repeat it.
Yep.
So, Furbies actually cannot record sound. They can only recognize sounds. Excluding the newer Furbies, the Furby Connect has a microphone that can be accessed via Bluetooth. But in short, Furbies are not recording your secrets or teaching your kids to swear or demonic chants. Because a lot of people were like, this Furby's teaching my kid to say the F word.
Yes, because actually, I have a little fact about that. Where did it go? The reason... Okay, so people were worried that it was going to do that because there was a Barney toy.
Yes.
A Play School talking Barney toy that was easy to hack, so people programmed it to say curse words. So parents were like, no, this is the Barney situation all over again.
Yeah, well, so also a lot of people in the... I can't think of what it's called, but it has a specific name. People who go in and, like, take toys like this and kind of hack with them and make them, you know, like, do other stuff. Their technology is really their technology is really simple. So a lot of people do really like going in and like doing like these extreme Furby builds, which we can talk about later, but also like with the technology you can also program them to do other things or say specific things. I didn't write down a lot of stuff about the technology because that goes over my head a lot, but they do use some sort of technology processor that is made by Texas Instruments, which I thought was really funny because they make the calculators that everyone and their dog has to buy in the United States for. And
you have to learn how to use those freaking things.
So next time you look at your calculator, just remember that could be part of a Furby.
That's inside of your Furby.
Your Furby got a better grade in algebra than you.
Ooh. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, sick burn.
You know what I would love? If someone, like, maybe not jailbroke their Furby because the tech, as we just talked about, isn't that advanced. But if they had the shell of a Furby and put their own tech inside and set it up as like a security system.
I'm sorry, that would be so cool.
Wouldn't that be so fun? Like, I would have one of those. Like, if I could
like
set
a gargoyle,
up,
but it's a Furby.
Yes, like someone's trying to like break in and then the Furby just starts talking to them.
The Furby goyle.
Dude, they would never come to your house again. They would think that Satan himself lives there.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we're starting a new business venture of Furby gargoyles. I want 7. I want one at every like window of my house. Yeah. Okay, and then last thing about maybe why people think they're a little bit scary. Apparently, you can turn your Furby evil by mistreating it. Now, this is only like a feature technically in the like 2012 resurgence Furbies, because
I remember when that started happening.
They have like different sets of personalities, and you can unlock these personalities by the way you treat them. And I listed a WikiHow article on how to turn your Furby evil. But yeah, you can basically like, you start by mistreating them, and then you overfeed them so that they like become kind of a brat. Like you make them like,
This makes me so sad.
And then you turn them evil. I mean, technically they're not like legitimately evil. It's just more of like a
they're also not alive
personality. Yeah, they're
but
not
like
alive.
It still makes me sad.
Yeah, they're chilling.
But I guess I'd rather someone do that to like a Furby than like a pet.
Yeah. Well, also by mistreating them, I mean like you might like smack them or something, but to make them evil, you have to like overfeed them. Not in like a way that would like hurt them. Like as in like you're compensating for your bad behavior. Which makes them turn evil, which I think is really funny. It's not like you just like this is their Sith origin story, okay? Turn your Furby into a Sith.
Do it.
Okay, but hear me out. What if Snoke was a Furby instead of whatever the heck he is?
Would have worked better.
A big Furby, like a freaking.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Star Wars, call me up. I have so many ideas for y'all.
I wish he would have been a Zepho.
But a Furby.
Could you imagine?
So tell me about some cursed Furbies in pop culture, Julia.
Wait. I have a few fun facts first.
Or just kidding.
And then I'll
Cut that
transfer
out.
into the cursed Furbies.
Whoa.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
No.
Since we're in the Y2K era.
Dang it. I'm getting you a Fagel.
Oh, no.
You don't want a Fagel?
No.
Why?
I don't like them.
Oh, okay. I was like, why? They're so fun. No, none of the Fagos?
I don't think so.
Not even like a peach Fago? Bro, they're like so sugary. You should love those.
I should. You're right.
Guys, Julia loves sugary things.
I do.
And I'm the antithesis. I love salty
You're savory.
meat.
Yeah. And I'm like...
Julia's the sweet vegan and I'm the salty carnivore. That's our...
The dichotomy of man.
Yeah, literally. I didn't know until recently that was a religious term. Like, I was like, it just...
Is it?
Yeah, it means, like, the separation of the soul from the physical body. And I was like, I thought it just meant, like, the two halves of your personality.
I did, too.
But apparently it's freaking religious.
So...
Freaking... And then the trichotomy...
I didn't pay attention in my philosophy classes.
The trichotomy of man is the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Yeah, I know.
Why?
But I'm gonna still say dichotomy of man. I'm reclaiming that term.
I mean, it definitely has, like, a pop culture meaning.
Yeah.
So,
Bing
what
bong.
the heck? Fun facts about Furbies.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about the spy base thing, which I thought was so funny. There is an actual English to Furbish dictionary available. Which,
We have some written down.
Yeah,
Like, I got some little translations.
like, it makes sense, but also great.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but our neighbors upstairs are doing something. They're dragging a dead body across the floor.
They got a giant Furby with wheels, and they're just pushing it back and forth.
Yes.
There's a dictionary that has 121 words included in it.
Wow.
Also, okay, so this next thing, designers were concerned that it would be too girly.
What?
I know, they were worried that the Furby would be perceived. It was primarily targeted to young girls.
Well, I could
according
see
to
that because
Tiger
like they do have kind of
Echelons.
like for like Y2K they have like the colorful.
They're very colorful, but like there's a lot of like orange and green combos and a lot of like earth tones.
Also,
and I was like,
my Furby is black and white, like a cow almost.
yeah, like I don't look at a Furby and think it's inherently quote unquote a girl toy. As someone who grew up with very gendered toys, I was just like, it's just, I don't know, it's this weird little scrawny creature thing.
Yeah.
But they were afraid that boys wouldn't want it, so they decided to make them burp and fart so that boys would want to buy them.
No, they do fart, like the newer
They
ones.
do.
We watched a video where this like newer one was like, who did that? After it farted. It was just like, oh my goodness.
Also, like, I don't know, like I was a big Star Wars person growing up, so like to me they look like a weird human version of like something that like is an Ewok.
Yeah, they look like
And
an
like
Ewok.
they
like
have
a little...
like Jawa mannerisms. So
Yeah.
like I don't know how they were like, nah, boys aren't gonna like these. I'm like, it literally looks like something out of Star Wars though.
What if they gave them little cloaks like Jawas?
I would get one of those.
Okay, but like, hear me out. Hasbro, Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You make little Jawas in a box, okay? You get like a box, and you just see the Jawa cloak. Their face is obstructed.
Yeah.
But underneath, it's gonna be a Furby. You just don't know what kind of Furby you're gonna get
That's
until
so
you
brilliant.
remove the little Jawa cloak.
Also, I don't know, because they did the Furbaka crossover thing.
Yeah.
Like, Disney has worked with Hasbro on these.
Call me, dude.
Well, they should make little Jawa ones. That
would be so cool.
Cute. I would get
Especially
one of those.
like,
I wouldn't
Jawas
put
are
batteries in it, but I'd get one.
Especially because like Jawas are like, you don't really see them, but they're supposed to be kind of like little fuzzy rat dudes.
They're like kind of little desert rats.
Yeah, so like, what if it was a Furby under there?
I just remembered the woman from Boba Fett
Oh,
dated a Jawa.
Yeah, watch Book of Boba Fett. A woman dated a Jawa. That episode was for the furries.
The way she admitted it.
That episode was really horny. Like the way that they made Mando. Like,
all of the
like,
language was like subtext. No, right there.
Yeah.
Right there. And the grunting, and we were like, what is happening?
Who was horny when they wrote this episode of Book of Boba? But anyway, Disney, call us. We got some ideas to make you some toy money.
They still sell for a lot online. If you have a Furby with a misprinted label, like the Furby's fine. If the label is misprinted, people will buy that for up to $500.
Damn.
Because it's a special edition because the label's wrong.
Did you? Okay.
What?
Also, in Sweden, the name was Furby, but EE instead of Y, because there's like a place named Furby there. Yeah, I didn't do a ton of research into that, but I saw that there was another name for BE. Well, I mean, it just said Furby, but yeah. And I was like, that's interesting. So I wonder if
Furbies to Furby.
Yeah, take your Furbies to Furby.
I wonder. So Swedish.
My baby's gonna be so Swedish. Watch the book group.
It's so good.
On Pluto TV.
It's
shameless
free.
plug. Roy McCann is great. Everyone's great in that show, actually. But anyway,
especially Roy McCann.
Yeah, Roy McCann. Oh,
he's
wow.
great. He's a giant golden retriever.
Literally, wow. Kenny has my whole heart. Anyway, so wait, what were you saying? Okay, but I wonder if also the Furby that's spelled in the Swedish spelling could get more money too, because I'm sure they made less of them because they were Swedish release. Do they? Oh, they do. I forgot to mention that. They also translated them into
different languages?
38 languages, I want to say.
No, that's cool.
Dude, a Furby that speaks Japanese, I bet that sounds cool as shit.
Oh my gosh. They literally... You could do a lot with this calculator technology.
Yeah, what the heck? Texas Instruments, you guys were sleeping on us with these freaking algebra calculators.
Here, buy this $100 calculator. We also helped make the Furby that can understand different languages.
I feel like, what if they made a Furby-themed calculator? Because you could get the cases to put on your calculator?
Dude!
A fuzzy one?
Oh! That'd be so good too for kids who need to STEM sometimes.
Yes, literally.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all, we are just giving you so many free ideas.
Free business ideas. I expect a check in the mail.
Literally. Texas Instruments, Disney.
If you can make a Furby speak, you can find my mailing address.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Woof. Okay.
They made a lot of special edition Furbies.
Ooh.
Between 1998 and 2002, they released Wizard Furby, Santa Furby, Jester Furby, President Furby, Kid Cuisine Furby.
I'm sorry, I love Kid Cuisine. Was he a duck? I'm assuming this Furby's gender. Were they a duck?
I didn't find a picture. Let me look it up real quick because I want to know.
Yo, I used to call Kid Cuisine duck dinners. And I was like, Dad, can I get a duck dinner? Bro, that is taking me back. Oh, the Kid Cuisine with the little brownie pudding.
Oh, it's just colored the label. It's actually really cute.
The way that I want one of these so bad. Oh my gosh, his little hair.
Why did they just make it a penguin?
I don't know. That's also I
mean, I do like the colors.
As a child, though, I really thought the Kid Cuisine penguin was a duck.
Well, his proportions aren't penguin correct.
And also, Daffy Duck is a black duck, right? And I always thought that he was just like Daffy Duck.
He looks a lot like Daffy Duck.
Kid Cuisine
mascot. Let me see what he looks like.
Yeah, he's a penguin.
Yeah,
but he looks like
Daffy Duck
with a little white spot. But yeah, I used to tell my dad all the time, "Can I get a duck dinner, Dad?"
Dude, these were so fun purely because they were I loved how everything was portioned out. Literally. It really appealed to my brain at the time.
Dude, I loved separating my food.
I hated how it tasted, but I was it's organized. Okay, I need to eat it.
Weirdly, some of it was trash, but some of it kind of hit.
Dude, the way
the mac and cheese with the chicken nuggets, when you dip the chicken nuggets in the mac and cheese.
The brownie
pudding.
Dude, the center of that was always so good,
mushy.
And then the outside was
crusty. Crusty as hell. But it was so good.
Yes, it was.
And the corn, somehow the corn always hit. Sorry, as I just smacked Julia. I had to tell her how that corn hit.
There was also a high C Furby.
What does that look like?
I don't know what that looks like, but I gotta know now because like I like high C.
I do too.
I can't drink it.
Why? Does it taste like medicine to you?
No, that looks so plain.
It's gray.
It's really cute, but it looks just like a plain Furby.
That almost looks like my Furby.
How is this the high C Furby? Why is he not red?
Or like orange, pink.
I'm starting to come
yellow.
around. I like some of these Furby designs.
I'm just telling you, when you like hold it in your little hand, it's
I
like when you have a baby. When you hold a Furby in your hand, you just like, you feel love for it, and you just like want to protect it.
If I could get one that has relatively small ears and like no batteries, I think I could manage.
There's also, I think Billiam talked about this in his video, a lot of the new like dead stock Furbies, like the ones that have never been opened, their sensors don't work.
That's true.
So you could technically do that.
I could get one of those.
Because for whatever reason, they just like, yeah.
Okay, so it's a dream of mine to like turn my basement into basically like just... I can't say that. I was going to say an adult playpen, but that has very specific connotations. I want to have a really fun room in my house that just feels very Y2K.
Like a Y2K, like a McDonald's playground.
Yeah, like I like want it to feel like I want it to look like the Discovery Zone and a Claire's.
Ooh.
Pushed together, but
and
like
a
I'm
90s Taco Bell.
Exactly, but I'm very like I want the bar to be Taco Bell themed.
Ooh,
like
a hot blast with vodka.
I'm very specific about like how things are designed, so I can't just like have it in the rest of the house because it's gonna clash with the other stuff. So my dream is to like have like a cool decked out basement, and like I want to have like classic toys and stuff like on a display, and I could get a Furby and pop them in there.
Yeah, I feel like you would do well with like a purple Furby.
Yeah. Or I like that high C Furby a lot too.
Okay.
If everyone wants to
I think you would vibe with Asmodeus.
I think so.
He has really pretty eyes. That's why I was like, you're a cute little dude.
You know what? Honestly, it might just be like the high contrast color ones that freak me out now that I'm thinking of it. It might be sensory overload.
Because like, yeah.
Because Asmodeus looks like a cute dude.
Yeah, he's just vibing.
In 2015, the Star Wars Furby, the Furbaka, was released for $80.
No,
I just want to throw that in there.
He's
because
kind of big.
He's expensive.
Like
he is large.
A larger Furby,
he's not
but
a tiny Furby.
$80.
$80 is a lot for a toy.
That is so much money.
That's more than what Grogu cost.
Yeah, our Grogu's were like $30, right?
Yeah, it was like 30, maybe 35.
Yeah, because
like,
we
once
both have
tax
those
was added.
like Target brand Grogu dolls that look pretty good.
Mine is wearing a $6 baby shirt that I got at a thrift store.
Mine has an earring that has an Oklahoma pin. Like, so it looks like he has a little Oklahoma insignia on him. Also, our Grogus have really fun names. Much like my Furby. Also, I'll explain my Furby's name later. Yes. Why he's named Asmodeus, but continue.
It's just the perfect name. I got 2 more fun facts. Ooh. I think. Maybe 3. Oh, no, I have 2. Okay. Hasbro was sued over Furby's resemblance to a Mogwai.
Really? I mean, I could see that.
The original design...
Especially the big-eared ones?
The original design, they had much larger ears, and following its debut at the Toy Fair in 1998, Warner Brothers was like, So Warner Brothers sued them. They were like, it looks too much like the Mogwai from Gremlins. You cannot sell this toy. And Hasbro settled. They settled the lawsuit because they were sued for trademark infringement, right? So they settled the lawsuit. They paid reportedly 7 figures.
Wow.
And they agreed to redesign it, which was the shrinking of the ears.
Oh my goodness.
Which is just that's actually why I was very uncomfortable with Furbies, was because the Mogwais freaked me out.
Well, that's fair.
And then at one point there was a Furby movie in development.
Yeah.
Not the one you think.
Oh, a different one.
There was a movie in development in the year 2016.
What?
Bob Weinstein.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Unfortunate name.
He decided, he announced rather at the American Film Market that the Weinstein Company was working on a live action CGI hybrid film about Furbies.
Whoa. Why? And I kind of want it to happen. I want Furby lore.
Listen, this is what he said. This is a quote. Also, shout out to Rebecca Fail for this article. I'll link it in the description. But this is what he said. We think that this can resonate as a 4-quadrant film. It can't just be a 90-minute commercial. Oh, my bad. Stephen Davis from Hasbro said that, not Bob Weinstein. But They were like, no, this is gonna be a full movie. Is it, Steven? Obviously the movie was not made, or else we would all have known about it and seen it. And weed sales would have gone up because everyone would have gone to see that high. But yeah, those are my fun facts about Furbies.
Wow, they were very fun.
I can't believe that they were making a CGI.
Because they did make that. They made a Furby movie. It's really bad.
It's really bad.
It's
funny.
It's a Nickelodeon, or it was on Nickelodeon, right?
It was like a Nickelodeon, direct, like a TV movie.
Yes.
But not a pilot.
And it was
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. It looks like trash water.
It looks like it looks so bad.
Saber Spark has a really good video reviewing it, which we can probably link in the description. But yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty trash.
It's like it's very much like the CGI of the era. Like if you've ever seen the Food Fight movie do you know about that movie?
Oh, I know about that
movie.
The
stellar cast, and then the animation is terrible. Like it looks like that. But like the proportions of all of the characters are just wrong.
Yeah.
Like no one looks like a person, and it's already it's like just they went full Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, they were like, the Furbies look weird. Let's make them worse.
Let's make the humans also terrifying. Oh, but so Furbies have they've held their place in pop culture. There are several creepypastas about Furbies, as well as a few SCPs.
The SCPs, wow.
The SCP is terrifying. I'm gonna read one creepypasta and talk about one SCP.
A dramatic reading with Julia.
And I will, of course, link these in the description, but I want to give credit to the author before I start so I don't forget. Where is your name? Okay, so this creepypasta is written by Shinigami Eyes on creepypasta.fandom. This creepypasta is called Jennifer's Furby. And we'll see if it's a play on Jennifer's body.
I was going to say.
Because I haven't read this yet either. I glanced over this and I glanced over the SCP, but I also wanted to surprise myself. So, Jennifer's Furby. When I was little, I'd say about 8 or so, I badly wanted a Furby. My parents tried to get their hands on one so I would be greeted by the talkative toy under the Christmas tree. But at the time, they were so popular, getting one at all would have been quite the feat. Of course, like many other parents in the release year of Furbies, they had no luck getting one for me. I was a little disappointed on Christmas, but even though I was just a kid, I was aware of supply and demand. What a smart kid. Because I would not have comprehended. During Christmas break, 98? I was 4?
Yeah. I was born in 1999, so I was a rat in a chip bowl. I was in my previous life form, which was a rat. Mm-hmm. So
during Christmas break, a couple of my friends came over, and I was envious of both of them. They both had Furbies. I frowned some as I watched the two other girls laugh as their Furbies communicated and played together. Jessica got a spotted gray one with a white stomach and a pink mohawk. Amanda's was a pure white one with blue eyes, just like I wanted. I pouted, but I did my best to be happy for them. After a while, they went back home. My parents could clearly tell how upset I was. January came and went, and even for my birthday, there was no Furby to be found. I did the usual. I pouted and sulked like the little brat I was, and settled for brushing the manes and tails of My Little Pony dolls I had. I would watch cartoons and fussily flip the channel every time a Furby commercial came on. Eventually, my mom got a phone call and ended up crying her eyes out like something awful had happened. Of course, curious and bored with my dolls, I got up to see what was wrong. "Mommy, what happened?" She hugged me tight. "Your cousin Jennifer," she began stammering, only to sob loudly. Jennifer was much older than me. She was 16 at the time. "She won't be there when we go to see Aunt Becky." "Why?" "She's in heaven now, sweetie."
Oh.
I knew what that meant. I didn't know Jennifer so well, but when I did see her, she was always very nice to me, even though I didn't like the music she listened to very much. The men always seemed angry or sad. She listened to Rammstein.
Yeah.
Rammstein. Yeah. My tastes changed as I got older. Simply put, she was really depressed and always wore black. I didn't know at the time, but she was what other people referred to as goth. I just knew that my aunt would be very upset. That just meant we got to go see her. Becky was very distraught when we showed up. My mom didn't think I should come along, but I begged and pleaded, hoping I could find a way to cheer my aunt up. It would be strange without Jennifer there, but my mother decided that attending her funeral might be a good way to learn about coping with death. That's smart, Mom. The funeral was open casket. Ooh.
Yikes.
Jennifer looked almost like she was peacefully sleeping. I cried simply because I knew she wouldn't wake up. She wouldn't play patty cake with me anymore. She wouldn't tell me scary stories. She wouldn't tell me cool things about spiders anymore. And the casket was finally lowered in the ground. I quietly murmured, "Good night, Jenny." After the funeral, I went to her room. Oh.
This is, like, really deep and sad.
Slight trigger warning. After the funeral, I went into her room. The empty pill bottle, there was no label, so I didn't know what it was still on the floor. I didn't know what it meant at the time, but my mom and her sister were discussing what was found during the autopsy, and she overdosed on Valium and consumed alcohol, which killed her. A few things were already taken out of her room. Her journal contained entries about how she wanted to die and how she hated herself.
Oh my goodness.
This took a dark turn. Nobody ever knew she felt that way. I especially didn't, and it made me sad. She always seemed so happy when I'd visit. I heard both Becky and my mother weeping. They came into Jennifer's room and glanced around. Becky insisted that all of her posters needed to be taken down and whatnot. She wanted to clear the room of all her old things. My mother explained to me later that sometimes when someone dies, the people who love them don't want to see don't see what that person had because it would upset them. I just thought Becky really hated Marilyn Manson and Nirvana. After a while, I ended up collecting a pile of things that Becky wanted to throw out. I had a stack of CDs full of music that terrified most kids my age and a few posters that went with them. Becky fussed at me, wondering why I wanted such scary things. My answer was simple. Jenny liked them, and I liked Jenny, so I liked them too.
Oh.
My mother just shook her head looking at Becky. She was basically telling her not even to try it. She knew how stubborn I was. She's a Taurus.
You literally...
But after collecting the stack of things, I stared at the bookshelf across the room. I saw a Furby there. It might not have been the color I wanted, but it was still a Furby. It was pure black, but I would expect something like that from Jenny. "Aunt Becky, can I have the Furby too?" She only nodded, biting her lip to fight off some tears. She took it from the shelf and handed it to me. It was a long ride back home, but I was playing with Jenny's old Furby, so I felt fine. I was sitting neatly on top of the manual, speaking its silly language. I would respond to it in English. It was sitting neatly on top of the manual. My bad. My mother seemed to believe that she didn't have to buy me one, but at the same time distraught at my cousin's death. She talked to Becky a lot after that. I would often read to the Furby, and I started listening to the music that Jennifer left behind. My friends didn't like it, so I didn't play it when they were around. That's courteous.
Yeah.
This kid is
courteous.
This kid is so self-aware. They brought their Furbies over to meet mine, only to be shocked by what happened. The Furby's green eyes stared blankly at the blue eyes of Amanda's white one. Its mechanical voice uttered something that startled us. "Me no like you."
Oh. Oh, man. Okay, just tell us how you feel.
Amanda looked a little unnerved and scooped her Furby up into her arms and gave me a strange look. I didn't teach it that, I swear. I told them how I got it, and Jessica, the most superstitious of us, said it was probably haunted or cursed. I told her not to be silly. We tried to make it interact with hers, but my Furby only closed its eyes and fell asleep, despite the others' friendly attempts to sing and whatnot. Okay, I gotta say, I'm coming around to liking Furbies a little bit more.
Yes!
I sighed and shook my head. I guess I need to reset it or something. The other girls nodded, taking a pen. I pressed the button on the underside of it. Oh no? Okay. Sorry, I read ahead a little bit. After it opened its eyes, it said something that I didn't think was normal. "Me so cold." I stared into the green eyes. They reminded me of Jennifer's.
This is getting scary.
That night, my friends and I had a sleepover. We all had our Furbies, but mine had decided to be antisocial and sleep the whole time. Me. We watched movies and talked about the things that normal little girls would talk about. We laughed and told scary stories and even picked on Amanda for having a crush on this boy named Kevin. They picked on me for one boy that I really didn't like, but it was obvious he liked me. I just made gagging motions, resulting in laughter. After we slept, we had breakfast together and then went home. I want to have a sleepover now.
Yes.
Claire's is still around, right? I want to go to a Claire's and get
Bro,
cheap.
we can do this.
Dude.
So easy.
Wait, hear me out.
Uh-huh.
A Y2K themed sleepover.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to it. Okay. Sorry. This is giving me the giggles. It's so dark, but I'm really enjoying it. It's written very well. Afterwards, my Furby woke up. I tried to feed it by depressing its tongue. "Me no hungry." I frowned. I rubbed its back to mimic petting. It responded with boo, which meant no. I was annoyed again. I prodded its belly in an attempt to tickle it. It let out a sound that sounded like a bored sigh. This was also irritating. No play.
No play. No play.
I didn't expect it at all. This wasn't how my friends' Furbies acted. It just sat there with its eyes wide open, staring and doing nothing aside from the occasional yawn or sigh. When talking to my mother about it, she explained that it's how Jennifer acted towards Becky during her last days.
Oh. Oh, goodness.
It went to sleep after a while. The next day I woke it up and it responded, "Let me sleep." It fell asleep as usual, but this time it opened its eyes after it fell asleep. Though judging by its silence, it wasn't awake. I told my mom because it started to creep me out, and she gave me a strange look. "What's wrong, Mama?" Those were Jennifer's last words. After that, we removed the batteries from the Furby. When I was looking around for it to sell on eBay due to the collectors out there, I couldn't find it. Good riddance, I say. To this day, the thought of its open, lifeless green eyes still disturbs me. It witnessed my cousin's death, and sometimes I wonder if her soul is trapped inside. She had a disturbed side that I never knew, and all of the bad in her could have been implanted into the toy that rested so innocently on her bookshelf.
Oof.
Wow. All right.
Dang.
Wow. Let's move on to the SCP.
Yeah.
I feel like this somehow will be a bit lighter. This will also be shorter. SCP-90765. Object class, Keter.
Well.
Threat level, black.
Oh.
Special containment procedure. SCP-90765 must be kept in an ordinary apartment or house-like area due to the kind of environment being suitable for the being. The house area must also have at least one closet for it to hide in.
Ah!
Because of its nature to hide in closets to snatch up its new prey.
What is its prey? Like shoes?
Well, I'll tell you.
Me? Gays?
This...
It wants to hide in the closet to snatch up prey? Is it trying to prey on the gay?
Yeah. The SCP...
You've heard of praying away the gay, but preying on the gays.
Oh, God. This SCP also tends to explore and or lurk in rooms for many reasons. SCP-90765 is to be fed 30 kilograms of meat every 5 weeks.
Ew.
The door is also made with a virtually unbreakable material so it can escape and spread its contact. Description. SCP-90765 is a gray-haired Furby, but with a mouth, realistic teeth, and a gaping hole cut in the middle of it.
Ugh.
So, like, the Furby's body kind of opens in half, and that's its mouth.
Me no like.
It also has very long, almost disproportionate legs to it.
Like a frog.
Also, it should be noted that their legs are their feet are hooved. It has hooves.
They look like frog legs,
They
but
look like
with
frog
hooves.
legs with hooves.
I don't like
It's
that.
horrifying.
I like the leg shape. Like, it's kind of doing something high fashion for me. But I hate the hooves.
We just need to put this in some, Oscar de la Renta.
Yeah, literally. Give it some fashion. Put it on Vogue.
Fashion, baby. Okay. It also has very long, almost disproportionate... I read that. This SCP is known to be fast and can chomp with the strength, almost rivaling that of SCP-76390. I used to be very into SCP, and then I got very overwhelmed because I was like, there's so many. If someone were to provoke SCP-90765, it would savagely attack them, not stopping until it had killed them. This SCP can also become pregnant with SCP-90765-A, or in more common cases, SCP-90765-B or C. So those are just different classifications for, babies of this SCP. Should SCP-90765 become pregnant, Genesis 952D5 will occur. Nearly nobody has an idea of it, not even the O5 Council truly have a clear idea of it. The most well-known thing about it is this mysterious event that the offspring birthed by SCP-90765 are able to transmit a zombie-like plague. What?
No like.
It can cause people to transform into a zombie-like entity, which looks very similar to SCP-9065 and its offspring. If this creature breaks out of the facility, it can spread a virus which transforms people into that thing. The virus is known as Z-90765, and we're still finding out if it can be cured. The thing is virtually... I like how this is all scientific, and then the thing is virtually immortal.
Ew.
This thing is virtually immortal, so any effort to terminate it or its offspring are futile. It can regenerate cut off limbs very quickly. Ew. Oh. Okay. The only way for it to die is for Genesis 95D5, that word, to end, or death of starvation. Personnel surveilling the containment chamber of SCP-90765 after Genesis 95D5 report that the offspring devour parts of the corpse in order to grow. They eat their dead mama.
Ew.
And when they're fertile, it takes about 0.75 months for them to give birth, if you were wondering.
Ooh.
Dr. Bright, if you get eaten by one of those nightmares, it's your fault. Trivia courtesy of Dr. Redacted. All right, so that's horrifying. Zombie plague-inducing SCP Furby. That took quite a turn. It is interesting that, like, it's a good indication that the general overall opinion of them is either just great admiration or pure fear.
Yeah.
Those are the two prevailing emotions surrounding Furbies.
Okay, so are we on personal opinions?
We are.
All right, so we've talked about what Furbies are, why they freak people out, and, you know, some little pop culture-y things with them, too.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about how we feel. And maybe Julia will have a different point of view now, going through it a little bit. But I freaking love Furbies. I think they're freaking adorable. I also, though, I like a lot of kind of quote-unquote cursed toys, though. I do have a collection of cursed dolls. I like things that are a little bit uncanny and kind of creepy looking. I got a Gen 1 Furby over quarantine, which I talked about a little bit throughout this episode. He's a little... I think he's either supposed to be like a white tiger or a zebra print Furby, and he has like bright blue eyes.
Yeah.
He is from 1998. He does work. And I named him Asmodeus. Asmodeus is the, I guess, demon that's in charge of the lust ring of hell. And I don't know, I just, like, I got him and I was like, this little dude, he feels like an Asmodeus. He feels like he's like a lusty little boy. Like, not in like a lusty sexual way, but in like a he wants power kind of lust.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's like precious. I do think it is weird that they don't freak me out in the way that, I don't know if they can hear that or not, but, I do think it, like, they should freak me out because when I was younger, I had a robot dog that one of my parents' friends gave to me as a gift. And... like the little... oh. Yeah, his name was Gizmo. I don't know if, like, he actually... or, no, his name was Techno, excuse me.
Oh!
His name was Techno, and...
I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, and he would turn on, like, at night. And, like, all hours of the day. And my dad took the batteries out and he would turn on. Like, it freaked my dad out. Dad, if you're listening... drop a comment in the YouTube comment section. Right now. Confirm it. But yeah, it was really weird. And so like but I wasn't even scared of that. So like, I don't know. But also I have like some weird, we should do an episode on like
weird kids' toys?
Or just weird childhood experiences. Stories? Yeah,
we
weird
childhood. We gotta do a ghost stories episode.
Yeah, ooh, we should get some submissions, but and do like a stories episode because we can include that. But of all the things that happened to me as a child, that one for some reason was not that scary. And like I wasn't scared of like stuff like that.
It really freaks me out when you take the battery out of something that's old and it still works because like I understand like the like this is gonna sound real stupid, but it's gonna convey my point clearly. Energy residue, like it still has a charge.
Yeah.
I feel like stuff that is that old shouldn't have the capability to still have an energy charge. Well, yeah, but it does. Like it makes sense.
Well, it was when it came out.
No, I mean like that old in like terms of like tech, like in the tech timeline.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Like that freaks me because like I'm like, obviously technology grows at an exponential rate, not a steady rate. Like it just, I feel like it shouldn't have been able to be like, oh, it still has some charge in it with the battery not connected.
Oh like, no, I 100% think it was a ghost.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, because it was at the house where we had a lot of other like weird spooky stuff happen, where I had my imaginary friend. Now, yes, it probably could have some explanation that's scientific and whatever, but yeah, that thing freaked my dad out. It freaked me out. Well, it didn't. It actually didn't freak me out, I should say. It freaks me out now to think about, let's say. But yeah, I vibe with Furbies. I think the teeth builds, though, when people add teeth to them, I think that is disgusting.
That's a hard pass
for
me.
Like, why would you do that? What is wrong with you?
Just put human teeth in a Furby.
Long Furby? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ew. Yeah. Long Furbies, though? Sick. Love them.
I don't like the long ones.
I think it depends on how they build them.
I will say, as much as I was freaked out, we did find a picture of one that was long, but it had feet, kind of like a caterpillar.
Yeah, that was cute.
As much as it freaks me out, the long ones, I don't like it. I appreciate that it had feet because that in my brain is like a little more logical. And I'm like, okay, it's not a snake. It's like a caterpillar, which is like, I don't know. I like that more than just the long ones because like, I think it's also like, it's just the long body. It's all just one, like it's one circumference all the way around for the long body. And I'm like, why does it not have like,
yeah.
Because like snakes taper, right? Like there's like, it looks like it's a wrong long body.
Truly. Truly.
I don't think I ever had a Furby growing up. It's possible
like
that
a real Furby,
like a
not
real
like
one.
the McDonald's.
Like I had the little McDonald's ones that you could like, you pull it backwards and it would shoot forward like a little spring-loaded running guy. And I think I had one other one from McDonald's because I collected McDonald's toys like it was nobody's business. I could have honestly opened an Etsy, but I got rid of a lot of them. I mean, I donated them, so like somebody got them. Somebody opened the Etsy. I kept some of like the classic ones. Like McDonald's came out with those like nugget things that were like, I can't even describe this. Never mind. I kept the ones that I thought would be like quote unquote valuable that I thought were cool. But no, I think I got rid of the Furbies. But I don't remember if I had one or not that could have talked. I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess the price point was probably too high at that time. What? That's scary.
Sorry, I just found a picture of people photoshopping Furbies into like pop stars.
Like I think if there were no animatronic parts, like the little scooter thing I had, I'd be down with that. Like it's not just the animatronics that I don't like. I'm not a big fan of that. I also got real scared at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I very much remember being at a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party when I was like 5 or 6. I'm gonna guess 5. I was more social before I realized I was awkward. Ew.
I don't know who these are supposed to be.
That I think is supposed to be a reference to the Moisturize Me woman who's like it's like the last woman, the last human alive, and she's just like a strip of skin.
Well, but these are supposed to be pop stars.
Oh, never mind then.
Like that's Grimes.
I'm disturbed.
These all just look like Grimes.
Yeah. I was at a birthday party and the poor dog is just howling upstairs.
Truly.
Like I wasn't. Before this birthday party, I was not scared of the animatronics. And then some kid, some guy, some little boy was like...
Some freaking boy.
Some fucking child was like... I can't remember what he said because my memory, shit. Everything before the year 2016, your guess is as good as mine.
It's ploppy doo-doo.
He said something... I don't know if we were daring each other to go touch the animatronic on stage, and I think it was more just like, not that it was scary that it was an animatronic, but it was scary that we could get in trouble. So like we would go do that, and I got so viscerally scared because I had a fear of getting in trouble, right? Because anyway. I remember touching Chucky's foot, and like in that moment, my brain crafted this elaborate thing of like, this rat is alive and it's trapped. And I was like, great, new fear unlocked. So I think for me, like the animatronic aspect, I was like, it's alive, but it's trapped. Kind of like in that episode of Black Mirror with Miley Cyrus where the Ashley O dolls, like when they take like the firewall off of it, it's just a full copy of her personality, but she's like trapped behind the firewall. It's a good episode.
I should watch it.
It's very creepy anyway. So I think that's what my problem with it was. Because like if it was like the design I think is cute. It does look a lot like the Mogwai, which bothered me a lot as a kid. But now it just looks like other things because I've seen so many iterations of like fake Furbies. That one's dope.
Sorry, I'm just
witchy
Google
Furby.
imaging like cool custom
Was that
Furbies.
a Furby cat bus?
Wait. Oh, yes.
Ooh. That's
I
a
don't
little
like
creepy.
That. I do like them painting the eyelids. That's
do
cool
too.
when they go to sleep.
But yeah, like I don't like the big giant ears. Like, oh, why does it have legs?
Yeah, people put doll legs on Furbies because they're sick and twisted. Those are kind of cute. They put little cat noses on their beak, so they look like a little cat.
Yeah, like I think the overall design is cute. The big giant ears freaked me out. And like the sound of the old animatronics because it was such new tech, like it was so
hearing
clunky.
It roll, yeah,
that freaked me out.
Hearing the gears,
I was like, that's a no-go for me, Chief. I hear its bones crunching. But
I like a crunchy boy. I'm a crunchy little woman. I be popping and cracking when I move.
I do. Everything in me pops, yeah, but like...
So I just, it just feels natural.
It's just like hearing the motor and stuff. It just feels...
fair.
It feels like an incomplete, like, AI, which is... But no, I don't know. I think maybe I'm coming around to the overall design of them. But yeah, I think seeing them as like a 4-year-old when they first came out, and like seeing like the cover of the Gremlins movie was just too much all at once. So as a kid, it was terrifying.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
And that was something we were talking about a little bit yesterday. Like, millennials were exposed to them when we were very young, and then Gen Zers sort of caught on as like that second wave came through in like 2005, 2012.
Also, like, Gen Z mostly discovered them as adults.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you look at who does a lot of the builds, though, it's a lot of millennials.
It is.
So, like...
it's like the core group that originally was cool with them.
Yeah. Is this like a Mothman one almost?
It does look like a Mothman one. Or
Mothman,
like he's got little
Furby.
devil horns.
Oh, man. Okay, if Mothman and a Furby had a baby, I think that would be me. That's me
tracks.
as a cryptid.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I found a giant moth Furby, guys. I'm sorry, you guys can't see any of this, so I'm really just freaking out for nothing. But, maybe we can post some pictures
That
on
looks
the
like
gram
something
later.
that should exist in the universe of the Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
You know
I like
what?
it.
That might be another reason why it freaked me out, because as much as I love the Dark Crystal, it terrified me.
Yeah, that movie scared me too. Like, I loved it. I loved being scared as a child, though, so... Like, my favorite movie was The Black Cauldron and Dark Crystal and stuff like that. So I liked really, like, things that freaked me out as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Like, speaking about, like, being creeped out by certain toys and stuff, I feel like I shouldn't have been creeped out by these, because my mother had a collection of porcelain dolls.
Mm.
So, like, I grew up around, like, and, like, not just, like, but
like,
the
imagine
porcelain
if
dolls
they
that, like,
moved.
people, like, put in horror films, like, those
No, but I mean,
kinds.
like, imagine if they had animatronics in them, you'd probably also be freaked out.
I think I would have passed out. So
that's what I mean. Like, I think part of it is like the animatronic.
You know
thing.
what? Okay, so my mom had there's this old doll. It's a very specific antique. Like, people hunt for this thing. She had a Betsy doll, and Betsy dolls had voice boxes. That one I was terrified of. I will argue though that I think there was something attached to it, because my dog, we had a dog growing up. That dog was so chill with all of the other weird dolls, right? And I love dolls. I love dolls so much. I would buy a haunted doll. I don't care. I would bring a haunted doll home. If it talks, no, because, like, I'm fine with there being an energy, but I don't want to hear the energy speaking to me. That's creepy. That's just too unnerving. But this Betsy doll, the voice box didn't really work, but it still freaked me out because I knew it was supposed to be able to talk. So in my brain, I was like, there's something trapped in it. And, my little kid brain. And my dog suddenly noticed that doll one day and just barked and barked and barked and barked, like, nonstop. And she never did this to any of the other ones. And my mom finally was like, you know what? It's fair that you thought this was creepy because the dog did. And I was like, thank you. And then she got put away because I was like, well, it's scaring the dog now, Mom, so we can't leave it out. We can leave it out for me, but, the dog got scared.
I love that.
But, like, I shouldn't have been freaked out by Furbies, but I also never saw the Gremlins movie.
Okay, so
But I was still terrified.
Was terrified of the Gremlins, but more than, like, the actual Gremlins themselves, I was scared. I saw, like, Gremlins 2, I want to say. Maybe it's in the first one, but I think it's in the second one. There's a spider gremlin.
Ew.
It's, like, got a gremlin face and then the body of a giant spider.
No.
And that's when I viscerally became afraid of gremlins. I was not actually terrified of just the gremlin themselves, because I was like, okay, they're just, like, raucous and chaotic as a child, I guess. And also, like, I wasn't really scared of, like, small creepy things, because I was a small creepy thing. So but when I saw the giant spider gremlin, yeah, I was like, okay, those things freaking me out. They have too much power. Take it away. But yeah, Furbies, man. Furbies and cursed toys. So if you were a Furby, audience, what color do you think you'd be? Would you be one of the would you be one of the Gen 1 Furbies with, like, the cool uncanny eyes, or would you be one with an LCD eye? Like a disgusting demon?
I'm about to say there is a correct answer.
Yeah, I think I'd be like a hot pink Furby. Or like a lavender Furby with, like, hot pink spots.
Yes. Yeah. Hot pink mohawk.
And then, like, bright green eyes.
I'd be like an earth-toned Furby, like a light brown fur with like a beige belly, Maybe some beige tufts.
Beige tufts.
Lots of beige. I really like beige rainbow, but I do want green eyes because I wish I had green eyes. Like, I love my eyes; they're very pretty, but I wish I had green eyes, like emerald green eyes.
Ooh.
I just feel like that matches me more. Actually, I take that back. I feel like the brown eyes matches me pretty well. But if I could, like, at whim, change my eye color, emerald green.
There's a pastel pink Furby.
That's
I want
really
that.
pretty.
Anyway, I do like that. I like with what you said your Furby type would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments what kind of Furby type you'd be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we got for you
And
this
that's
week.
what we've got.
Haunted Furbies.
Haunted Furbies. Remember to be nice to your Furby and all animatronic toys, just in case they are
Just in case
alive.
they are alive. See? Oof.
Just in case it is Five Nights at Freddy's, and there's the ghost of a child inside of them.
I've never been to a Dave & Buster's.
They don't have animatronics there.
They don't have animatronics. I would love for Dave & Buster's to have some kind of like night where they have like animatronics and like
That would be...
no, listen, hear me out.
What if it was just like adult Chuck E. Cheese night?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like,
But I
like,
mean,
totally.
like, but like, what if Chuck E. Because like Dave and Buster's, then that would be so much budget for them to bring in some animatronics.
True, but like, I
like-
feel like the reason I said Dave & Buster's and not
Yeah.
just like an adult Chuck E. Cheese night is because I feel like oh my goodness,
Dave and Dusters.
I feel like Dave & Buster's is making more income than Chuck E. Cheese because a lot of Chuck E. Cheeses have been closing.
That's fair, but also like Disneyland and
Although,
Knott's Berry Farm have animatronics as well that could fit into the, like, what if they just had like an adult, because like Knott's Berry Farm does like Knott's Scary Farm,
Yeah.
so they could do like
they
a
could.
FNAF
That would
moment.
be, oof.
And they have like haunted houses and shit there.
Ew.
Yeah. Universal Studios.
Well, now that I'm thinking about like the budget, if Chuck E. Cheese were to have adult nights with alcohol and stuff, they'd probably make more money.
Yeah, guys, come on, get on it. We have so many ideas. Someone hire us to do your marketing.
We'd be the best creative team.
Yeah, guys,
Like,
we're
what are we
full
gonna
of
do to
ideas.
bring in people?
Cursed animatronics.
Cursed animatronics.
And
sell,
beer.
Sell liquor.
Yeah. Cursed animatronics and beer. That's
I want
my
Chuck
weekend.
E. Cheese to serve me a whiskey neat.
Ooh, with that pizza.
And
oh,
then I want to go
man.
jump in the ball pit.
Yeah. I want pizza now.
Me too.
Crying.
I think I always want pizza though.
All right, well, friends and family, listeners and non-listeners. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Folks in the cafe.
The handful of people who think about the show but forget to watch it.
Yeah, which I don't know how you're hearing this if you're
Yeah.
if you did that. Thanks for being
They'll
here
know.
with us. The caffeine is all hitting me and I'm starting to get jittery. So we're gonna close down the cafe.
Yeah.
Turning off the lights.
I got a new shipment of records in for the jukebox. I'm switching them out.
Ooh, getting some new tunes. We're putting the Furby on sleep mode. We're putting a sleep mask on our little Furby on the counter now.
Mm-hmm.
Wiping down the counter, joyfully this time.
Locking the doors.
And you're still here. Goodbye.
See you in 2 weeks.